This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Deepfake divorce. Her husband is accused in an AI deepfake investigation. Now she's filing for divorce. Hemingway pulled. The province pulls a short story from a high school course over racist slurs. And infestation inflation. Renters demand action as cockroaches overrun Halifax apartment buildings.
Another nice one shaping up for Friday. We'll see the winds shifting as we work our way into the weekend, clouding up as well. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. We have more on a CBC investigation into AI deepfakes of dozens of Canadian women. Multiple women have told CBC News they feel confused, violated, and terrified after learning that pictures of them were manipulated into nude and violent imagery using artificial intelligence. Two men are facing charges. The wife of one of them is speaking out about the men she thought she knew. Kayla Hounsell reports.
I met Gwen Frankton at her home in Maitland, Nova Scotia. It's where she'd been living with her husband of 21 years, Stephen Lowe. It's a small village around 85 kilometers north of Halifax, and it's also where her husband was arrested in the early morning hours of a snowy February morning after multiple Canadian women were identified in AI-generated nude deepfakes, putting their real faces in fabricated scenes of violence, including rape and torture.
At the time when the police came, Stephen was sitting right here where we're sitting now, fixing one of my silver hoop earrings with a pair of needle nose pliers. And there was a rap on the door, which is unusual here because most people just walk in. That was a total shock. So on the 16th of February, which was the last time we spoke, he called me from the center where he was incarcerated, and I said, "It's over, and I will be looking for a divorce." And he said he understood.
Lowe is facing dozens of charges, including harassment, uttering threats, possessing and publishing obscene material, and child sexual abuse material. The Ottawa Police Service says there are now more than 50 women affected. The allegations have not been proven in court. Frankton says she knows many of the women involved in the case and has never experienced more profound pain. She says the spouses of accused people are in a very curious position.
We're not accused, and we're not named victims. And at this point, there doesn't seem to be a place for people like me.
She is speaking out, hoping to help others and start a conversation about supports available for people who are not formally victims of alleged crime, but remain deeply affected. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
The federal justice minister spoke about legislation aimed at better protecting victims of intimate partner violence and online exploitation in Ottawa today. Bill C-16 would criminalize the sharing of deep fakes.
We need to take action against the proliferation of AI deepfakes. I arrived back in my home province to see someone is facing 79 charges with an uncertain outcome through the trial of using AI to generate deepfakes in horrific and heinous sexual acts without the consent of the person whose likeness is borne out by these images.
The bill has now passed third reading in the House of Commons. A suspicious death in Antigonish County has now been declared a homicide. Police reported to a report of a residential fire in Upper Big Tracadie Sunday night. After crews extinguished the fire, officers found a deceased man nearby on the property. RCMP say they also responded to 4 other fires that night. Investigators believe the homicide and fires are targeted incidents and possibly linked. Nova Scotia's Education Department has removed a short story from an online grade 12 English course that has repeated mentions of a racist term for Black people. Now, leaders in the Black community are expressing their frustration. A warning that this report includes repeated mentions of the N-word. Allie Thompson reports.
Quite frankly, I'm tired of having this conversation. frustration, confusion, and anger. That's how some members of Nova Scotia's Black community are feeling after discovering an online grade 12 English class had a short story with repeated mentions of the N-word.
We've heard the saying, sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never harm us. That is so far from the truth. The use of the N-word is harmful.
Ernest Hemingway's The Killers was offered as part of a short story analysis module for the online self-guided English Language Arts 12 course. A character in the story is referred to by the N-word 12 times, by characters in the story and also by the narrator. The words did not appear redacted as they do here. The story was removed from the course after a parent, who was also a CBC journalist, brought it to the attention of the course mentor. It's unclear whether the Education Department's guidance for sensitive texts was followed or how long the short story was on the curriculum, as the provincial government refused to answer questions. In an email, spokesperson Krista Higdon says the province has a process to guide how resources are brought into classrooms, and it must pass a bias evaluation. There is also guidance for teaching sensitive material, which includes preparing students for the topic beforehand. Former Principal Martin Morrison says it doesn't appear those processes were followed in this case.
I think what it does is it just kind of widens the distrust of Black learners specifically, right? So there's a level of kind of frustration and anger and confusion.
Youth worker Dennis Adams says he's disgusted when he sees the N-word.
It's used in such a way where it's objectifying of this individual. There's a second-class citizenship effect. To me, it's just not necessary in 2026.
Adams says regardless of how or why the story was introduced to the grade 12 course, he hopes shedding light on the situation sparks conversation about which sensitive texts are appropriate for classrooms. Ali Thompson, CBC News, Halifax.
Education Minister Brendan Maguire told reporters the story is not on the province's approved resource list. He says teachers can use their own judgment when deciding what resources to use, but he understands why this story caused offense.
This is an unfortunate situation where something was brought into the classroom that was deeply offensive, and we're working with groups to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But we've got to allow some flexibility with teachers to be able to, and educators to be able to bring in resources.
And we've got Ryan in with the first look at the weather. So lots of sunshine and warm temperatures.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day today. So much sunshine and yes, so much warmth for most. Obviously, the sea breeze is a little cool. Western Head at 14, back row at 15, but widespread temperatures into the 20s today, and not only 20s, mid to high 20s. 28s, Pictou County, Kentville, Greenwood, even some 29s on the board. Didn't see any 30s. But I'm sure it happened in a couple of backyards, especially in through eastern areas of the valley. Now, a bit of a shift for tomorrow. We've got the winds shifting to northeast across the northern parts of the province. High temperatures 16 to 18 here across the northeast. Those temperatures will likely occur mid to late morning, and then the wind will shift and that cooler northerly flow will come in off the strait, cooling temperatures not only for the island but across the North Shore. If you're down into the southwest, you're going to hang on to the warm temperatures back into the mid-20s, low to mid-20s for most. We'll break it down with your full forecast right through the weekend coming up.
All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, 2 renters in Halifax are calling for better protections for renters living in cockroach-ridden buildings. And as the CBC's Meg Campbell tells us, the problem is more common than you think.
Lindsay Eagleson was excited to move her and her daughter into a newly renovated apartment in Cowie Hill. But before she moved in her belongings into the unit, she realized something was amiss.
I noticed a bunch of cockroaches in the kitchen. And at first I had no idea what they were. And I was just kind of shocked.
Eagleson soon discovered her newly rented apartment had a long-standing issue with pests.
It was like my heart dropped. I was like, I had just finished living in my car and I moved into this apartment, and I was really excited to kind of have a fresh start.
And according to the experts, roaches are a growing issue in Halifax.
I would say it's the worst pest that we have here right now. You know, like it's completely overtook in the last decade. Before it was bed bugs, we got them taken care of, and now it's German cockroaches.
Heather Dunham says her apartment building in Herring Cove has been infested with mice, roaches, bed bugs, and even snakes.
I'm scared to go to bed at nights because wake up in the morning, all of a sudden I'm making a cup of tea and it's everywhere. There's roaches everywhere. And you feel like you don't want to eat because you're scared of making a mess because they'll come after you. You know, a lot of people can't afford these apartments like me with an autistic child. I'm barely getting by.
Dunham says tenants are fearful to speak out.
A lot of people don't want to talk about it because they're scared to get kicked out of their units because they can't find any place to go. And I'm done being scared.
Meanwhile, Eagleson says the current condition of her apartment is not suitable to raise a family.
You know, I have this set up for my daughter to play. I don't want her to get sick from that. Like, that's really important for me, is that she has a safe place to call home.
CBC has reached out to both Eagleson and Dunham's property owners for an interview. One says they work with professionals to mitigate pest concerns. The other has not responded. The municipality says an investigation is underway into both properties. Meg Campbell, CBC News, Halifax.
Nova Scotia says it added a large number of new doctors during the last fiscal year. The health authority says it welcomed 278 new doctors. Of the new physicians, 111 are family doctors and 167 are specialists. About 40% of the new doctors were internationally trained, and the health authority says recruitment from the U.S. is up significantly. There are celebrations at the Fort Anne National Historic Site in Annapolis Royal, marking the 300-year anniversary of the Peace and Friendship Treaty. Ratified at this site on this day in 1726, it was one of the first ever treaties signed between Indigenous peoples and the British Crown. The Peace and Friendship Treaty has served as the basis for many similar treaties since. One of the organizers of the anniversary event says it's important to understand the treaties and to honor the nation-to-nation relationship. Dalhousie University is helping improve Mi'kmaq history past and present by making changes to one of the most popular websites in the world in a marathon event. Josh Hoffman was there.
To mark National Indigenous History Month, staff and students at Dalhousie University held a Wikipedia edit-a-thon.
An edit-a-thon is a group of people coming together. Typically, you're editing or working on articles on a particular topic.
The topic is Mi'kmaq representation in arts and culture online. The people participating are editing existing pages or starting from scratch. Alison Casson says there are major gaps even for people you may have heard of.
We just did a page for Catherine Martin, who is a Mi'kmaq filmmaker and producer. And she had no page, even though she has an Order of Canada and is really well recognized, certainly really well recognized here at Dal.
Several students say they signed up for the edit-a-thon because they're passionate about equality.
I thought it was a really cool and good opportunity to help to bridge some gaps in knowledge and information, especially in an area where there is a lot of gaps. I'm a disabled student, and I'm also part of the queer community, so I do have some experience there with how there is so many gaps in the knowledge.
Some of them say it's important to educate yourself about where you live and the local cultures, so they're grateful to help out.
Especially with Halifax and Nova Scotia and Mi'kmaq having so much, like both past and present culture and history and values that we need to be aware of.
Wikipedia is not only one of the most visited sites in the world, but editors ensure its content is accurate, representative, and responsibly sourced.
So it's a massive source for information. It's also free. So unlike many other sources, including sources here at Dalhousie Libraries, it's not behind a paywall. So people use it in their everyday lives.
Alison Casson says hopefully their work will not only help more people learn about Mi'kmaq people and their culture, but it will give them the credit they deserve. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Halifax.
Beautiful night in Halifax. Ryan is up next with the full weather forecast. We'll see you on the other side of the break. And Ryan is back with the full weather forecast. So a terrific day today.
Yeah.
And even better news, there's another one tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. We're doubling up, and it would be nice to extend it into the weekend. That's going to be obviously not the case, but we will break down the weekend forecast. Saturday looking like the better day. Before we look forward, want to look back. The month of May, we finally have the numbers from Environment and Climate Change Canada. Near normal temperatures for the month of May. Yeah. So there was a lot of swings, up, down. We ended very chilly, of course, but we had some warm surges. It ended just near normal as a whole for the month, within a degree. But the precip was quite variable. Have a look at this. So we were near normal for western parts of the province, and yes, significantly above normal in terms of precipitation in the northeast. Antigonish County into Cape Breton, there were some spots there that was over 200% above normal for precipitation. So this actually would have been more helpful in the west, where we're still, based on the drought monitor about a month ago when it was updated, still dealing with that lingering drought drought conditions from last summer in places like the Valley up into Cobequid Bay area. So yeah, near normal precipitation for those areas, however, including for Halls Harbor, where we start for tonight with our time lapse from our webcam at Nova Scotia Webcams. And Halls Harbor, one of the great spots to hang out through the day to see the tides. And yes, starting there low, and then the tide comes in, and yes, beautiful, beautiful stuff there throughout the day. You can see all the sunshine. It was just an absolutely terrific day across the entire province. And there's that tide that comes in by the end of the day. And yeah, still live shot here. Don't stand in front of it for too long, but thanks to Nova Scotia Webcams for that. As we look at the temperatures out there right now, 27 degrees, Greenwood, Kentville, 26 in Pictou County at the Caribou Point Station, 26 in Shetticamp, 28 in Ganesh Beach. That's our warmest spot currently. The winds, yeah, they've been a factor today, sustained near 20, gusting 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, and they're going to continue tonight from the southwest, and that will help to keep temperatures quite mild through the overnight. This frontal boundary, it's going to slide through eventually. We're trying to time this out over the last few days, and it's been slower and slower in terms of its progression coming in and how it will ultimately play out with that weekend forecast, and we're going to break that down now as we see the forecast for tonight. We've got temperatures in the 10 to 14 range with those southwest winds, easing a little bit as we work our way into the overnight. Note, even as we start the day tomorrow in that 10 to 14 range, including up across the Northumberland shore, and I think temperatures will warm up a little bit across the northeast, and then that sea breeze will kick in. This model is a little on the earlier side for that sea breeze and that northeast flow to kick in. Some forecast models holding off till, say, early afternoon, but when it does kick in, it's going to be noticeable across Cape Breton and the Northumberland shore, keeping temperatures or dropping temperatures into the low teens, low to mid-teens, and even cooler right along the coastline, especially in through Cape Breton. Note temperatures in the southwest will continue to be shielded with that northerly flow. Things should be considerably warmer. 20 degrees for inland parts of Cape Breton before the northerly wind kicks in, but I think temperatures will drop in and around the Bredor Lakes region as well tomorrow. Temperatures here across the Northumberland shore, 16, 18, 19 degrees. But we will see those temperatures falling into the low to mid-teens into the afternoon. Metro will be nice for tomorrow. Note, still a light sea breeze, though, along that Atlantic coastline from Halifax, Lunenburg, right down that south shore tomorrow. So a heads up that if you're heading to the coast, it will still be a sea breeze there. Now, for Saturday, we've got cloud cover dominating, some sunny breaks in the mix. And it does look like we'll stay dry until perhaps the evening, a chance for some showers starting to work their way in. Greater risk for our friends in New Brunswick. For us, temperatures are likely going to be 18 to 22, but cooler Cape Breton and along that Atlantic coastline with that south to southeast flow. And then as we work our way into Sunday, we're looking at a better chance of scattered showers throughout the day. But given the later arrival of this front, it does look like a good chunk of the day we're going to still be riding into the mid to high teens in terms of temperatures. Clearing skies for Monday, cooler on the other side of that system, and we're back into the sun and the toasty temperatures for the mid next week, Amy.
All right, we're getting there.
For sure.
Right. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Netflix is coming to PEI. It's filming a new series this summer based on a best-selling book, and provincial officials say it is a big deal for the economy. The CBC's Connor Lamont reports.
This summer, PEI's film industry will look a little different. The province is investing millions into a Netflix project that will be shot here on the island. It's called This Summer Will Be Different, and officials say it's the largest production to ever come to the island.
They're going to spend a lot of money here in Prince Edward Island, and again, it's great for the arts and culture sector here. It's great for those who are in the workforce here in Prince Edward Island. It's great for those of us who want the world to know everything that's wonderful about Prince Edward Island.
The 10-episode series is based on a New York Times best-selling book by Canadian author Carly Fortune. It's a romance set in PEI. Filming will take place here and in Toronto.
We knew, without a doubt, that we had to film here on the island. There's simply no substitute for this special place, and we couldn't be more thrilled to be filming here this summer.
The province is investing $5 million in the form of a rebate, calling it the largest investment ever in the local film industry. It says it will create jobs for 75 people, like production assistants, painters, and caterers.
It puts us on the map. I mean, you know, having worked in different locations, and you see the shows that are done and their impact. Tourism dollars, the economic spin-off that you get. So it's not just about the productions, it's also about the local economy and how they benefit from these things.
A big part of the Summer Will Be Different is the Tyne Valley Oyster Festival. They do a lot of shellfish eating and dining within the book. Certainly in a time that's been really devastating for our oyster industry, this will hopefully help turn that page a bit as we continue to build our way back.
PEI's Liberal Party recently questioned how much support the PC government would give to the Netflix show, saying it was risking a major opportunity. But Land says the show will go on.
There's no doubt that it's going to happen, and I never had any doubt that we'd enter into this partnership.
Netflix didn't say when production might wrap up, where it will be shot, or how many local island actors could be hired. Connor Lamont, CBC News, Victoria.
Coming up, we head to a farm in the valley to see how this year's strawberry season is shaping up. It's almost strawberry time in Nova Scotia. This year's crop is a little bit delayed because of the cold and wet spring that we've had. We're here in the Annapolis Valley. We're joined by Jordan Yamey, strawberry farmer and president of Horticulture Nova Scotia. So these are your babies.
These are my babies, yes.
Tell me what's going on here in terms of the growth. I see the blossoms on the plants.
Yeah, so we had bloom about May 24th. And once we start to see bloom, then it's about 30 days until your first harvest, so your first strawberries. So we're looking for ourselves for a June 24th start. And then in between that time, strawberry farmers are doing things like frost protection, and that could be either using row covers, or we use irrigation, you can see there. So that means a lot of sleepless nights this time of year. Not last night, but the last 3 nights I was up pretty much all night just watching the temperatures, and then the first night I did end up turning on the irrigation to protect the berries, and they look good.
So nothing lost?
Nothing lost
except
that I can
a couple of
see.
nights sleep?
Yeah, just my brain is just a little fried, that's all, yeah.
So you'll start picking in 20 days or so, right?
Yes, that's right.
How exciting is that for you?
I always get excited for strawberry season. I've been doing this since I was about 6 or 7, and every time I see bloom, I still get those like little butterflies. Maybe when I'm like 80, I won't get as excited, but I'm still excited for strawberry season every time I see bloom.
We were chatting before we started this interview, and I didn't realize that there were different varieties, like different varieties of apples, of strawberries.
Yes, exactly.
What do you have planted here?
This is my favorite variety, and it's called Evelyn. It doesn't runner very well, but it has, and so you can tell the size of a berry by looking at the size of the bloom. So if you see big bloom, that means you're going to have big berries. So this bloom size is actually quite good. And you can see that the bloom size is kind of like the same all the way through.
Right.
And that's what I love about this variety, is that it basically stays big the whole season, whereas some varieties, they have their what's called the kingberry, and that's really big, and then it will drop off in size to like basically marbles. But this one, it stays pretty good all season long.
Now, besides the size, is there a difference in the taste?
I find that it's not an overly sweet berry, but it's not overly tart. It's kind of one of those middle flavor berries. I find it's very good. But the other thing I like about it is for us, since we're more commercial, it has a really good shelf life. It's a bit waxier. But I feel like for visual appeal, I get feedback from our markets that we sell to, and the customers love it. I get asked to send this variety to the markets because the customers just visually, it's a really nice looking berry. You get like 8 berries and it fills up a quart pretty much sometimes.
Now, the drought affected you in terms of how many flowers, right?
Yes. So generally what I'm looking for when I'm trying to make my yield prediction, I like to see 10 blooms per like stem here. And if we do a little count, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's pretty consistent across this field. So that's about a 30%, potentially 30% yield loss. Now maybe they'll size up and it won't be quite that big of a drop in yield, but that's part of that I think would have been the drought, because fruit set happens in September during what we call our renovation time.
So how happy were you to have a day like today?
Oh, so happy. It's been hard to, I mean, we have other things going on around the farm, but in order to get I don't know, like our proper spraying done and our proper fertilizing done, we need nice days like this. And the rain has been really great, but it's the cool weather that's been like slowing everything down. But yeah, and also just like vitamin D is nice for your morale. Yeah.
And as you said, you're a commercial operation, not a U-pick.
That's right.
How are you in terms of finding enough staff members to harvest the berries?
So we get our staff mostly from Mexico through the foreign labor program, which is fabulous. And we've had those guys coming to work with us for 16 years, some of them. And they're a great group of guys. And so we are pretty well like we're pretty set in terms of our picking staff, but it does make the days a lot shorter if you have your more local people come. It's just, I mean, there's a reason we have those guys come. It's hard to find people that want to stay out in the sun all day. I don't blame them.
It's hard work, yeah.
Yes, it is hard work.
And when will the season wrap up? When will you stop picking?
Our season goes for about 4 weeks.
Okay.
Depending on, you know, the weather and things like that.
In terms of how much folks are going to pay when they get to the grocery store, do you have any rough idea what the prices are?
What I've seen right now for retail, it's about $8, but that will come down in your peak time. Like stores will put ads out, I think, around that July 1st, 4th, in that kind of area. And then prices should come down at that time. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but maybe like $7.50, something like that.
And some farms are already harvesting strawberries, that's right?
Yeah, I saw Gouchers is harvesting strawberries already. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that have berries before the 24th. This berry also is a mid-season, mid-late. So that's another aspect to varieties. There's like color, like what it actually looks like, what it tastes like. And then there's when it's ready, when it's like, you know. Wendy is one of those earlier varieties. It's probably 5 to 7 days.
Right.
Maybe a little bit closer, but then earlier than this variety would be.
So per year, how many strawberries come out of these fields?
So we have 15 acres, and on 15 acres we get about 150,000 quarts. That's the target.
Do you ever get tired of eating strawberries?
About after week 2. I do, yeah.
And what's the best way to eat strawberries?
Oh gosh, well I just eat them straight up. But my other favorite way of doing it is slicing it up and putting it in a bowl of cream with a touch of granulated sugar.
Oh, it all sounds good.
That's so good.
Looking forward to your harvest. Best of luck with everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Coming up, a UN peacekeeper is killed in the crossfire as the U.S. brokers a new deal to end hostilities in southern Lebanon. And Mark Carney unveils Canada's AI strategy, but there are concerns about the environmental impact of data centers. Welcome back. New fighting between Israel and Hezbollah militants in southern Lebanon has killed at least 5 people, including a UN peacekeeper, according to local officials. The violence comes despite a new U.S.-brokered ceasefire agreement for the region signed by Israel and Lebanon. But Iranian-backed Hezbollah forces were not included in the new ceasefire plan and have now rejected it. Willie Lowry reports.
We are near the northern Israeli community of Hanita. This is a border village that abuts the wall separating Israel from Lebanon. News of a deal between Israel and Lebanon was met by people here with a certain degree of skepticism.
In Hanita, there was no ceasefire for the last 2.5 months. We can hear that. I sat with my kids yesterday on the porch, listening to drones, listening to pilots, listening to alarms that coming from the bases, from the army bases.
The ceasefire deal between Israel and Lebanon appears to be centered on the Lebanese armed forces moving into what the U.S. is calling pilot zones and Hezbollah vacating the territory south of the Litani River. Opposition member and former Army Chief of Staff Benny Gantz said he too remains somewhat hesitant to believe that Hezbollah will abide by this ceasefire agreement. And he says, in fact, that the Israeli army should maintain its presence south of the Litani for some time to come.
Given the current situation, Israel needs to stay in Lebanon, militarily speaking, to ensure our security.
Gantz also criticized Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for bending to the will of U.S. President Donald Trump after a reportedly very tense phone call earlier this week. Gantz says it needs to be Israel's decision alone on how it proceeds with its military operations in Lebanon.
We need to insist, and the Americans need to understand that when it comes to a direct and immediate threat to the state of Israel, Israel can count mainly on itself.
Gantz adding that Israel should not hesitate to strike Dahieh in southern Beirut if Hezbollah strikes Israeli citizens or communities. Meanwhile, Lebanon and Israel have agreed to meet for yet another round of dialogue, this time on June 22nd in Washington, hoping that they can ensure that this fragile ceasefire endures. Willie Lowry, CBC News in northern Israel near the Lebanese border.
The concurrent resolution is adopted.
An eruption of cheers as 4 Republicans added their votes to pass a resolution to end the war in Iran. It's non-binding, but also a slap in the face for the U.S. president and from members of his own party.
There's a law in the books. The War Powers Act of '73 says 48-hour notification and 60-day concurrence of Congress. We're past the 60 days. So you have 2 choices. You either follow the law or you change the law. You can't violate the law.
The war's effects also getting harder for Republican representatives to explain to voters.
I definitely see that. I definitely feel what people are experiencing back home. You know, I go back home to my district every single week. You know, I fill up my gas tank too.
In a Thursday morning post, Donald Trump called the men who voted with the Democrats 4 bad Republicans and wrote they should be ashamed of themselves. One of those Republicans, Thomas Massey, says look for others in his party to start to peel away from Trump.
A lot of his decisions are not popular, and as November approaches, you'll see more bifurcation between the White House and the House of Representatives among Republicans.
The vote comes after bipartisan pressure forced the Trump administration to back off a $1.8 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund, which caused an uproar over fears it would be used to compensate January 6th rioters who assaulted police and as a slush fund for Trump allies. Then Senate Republicans removed $1 billion in funding for Trump's new ballroom from a bill. It also comes after a judge ruled Trump had no right to add his name to the Kennedy Center and gave him 2 weeks to remove it. And after multiple artists pulled out of a planned concert organized by a Trump-aligned group for America's 250th anniversary. Adding to Trump's bad week, on Tuesday, a new poll from The Economist and YouGov found 61% of Americans disapprove of his job performance. It's the worst rating he's had in any of his 2 terms. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has revealed the federal government's new strategy on artificial intelligence aimed at scaling up the use of AI and positioning Canada as a world leader in building a technology set to define the era. But as Kate McKenna explains, the strategy faces both hurdles and critics.
AI is already changing how we work, how we learn, and how we connect.
After months of delay, the Prime Minister officially unveiled Canada's artificial intelligence strategy that seeks to create up to 250,000 jobs.
Now, as this technological revolution gathers pace, Canada has many of the attributes to help lead it.
The federal government plans to massively scale up AI use and literacy, while also improving privacy and safety. Big ambitions, but vague on specifics. CBC News first reported the contents of the strategy on Monday after obtaining a draft.
There's very little details here on privacy, on safety, on security, on how to keep kids safe. And the reason that you see this strategy today is not because they were ready with some grand plan on AI. It's because the document leaked and they were forced to announce something.
The federal government also plans to build a way to keep data in Canada, reducing reliance on big foreign companies. On a list of foreign trade barriers, the U.S. identified Canada's Sovereign Cloud Initiative as a problem.
We want to make sure that we have an opportunity to be in control of our own destiny, and to the extent that sovereignty and AI is going to be part of that conversation, know that it's going to be the interests of Canadians, not exclusively potential trade irritants, that's going to dictate Canadian policy.
Ottawa will also try to force companies to watermark AI-generated content, but past federal efforts to regulate tech giants have failed.
What I want to see is the government demonstrate it has the regulatory capacity to deal with some of the large tech firms that we're ultimately talking about. We're talking about OpenAI, we're talking about Meta. These are some of the same firms that the government has historically struggled to regulate in the past.
For this plan to work, Canadians will have to buy in, and a global trust study found that people in this country are cautious when it comes to AI. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
The new national AI strategy announced by the Prime Minister comes as the country is confronting a wave of new, high-powered data centers. But there are growing concerns about the environmental impacts. The CBC's Kyle Bax has more from Calgary.
Data centers have long been under the radar for many Canadians, but that's starting to change as a wave of new, more powerful facilities are being developed. New research from York University points to a dramatic shift in data centers in the country. The ones being built now have 10 times the capacity of what's come before. Alberta is at the heart of this all, a province with available energy, financial incentives, and open arms by the governments. Right now, Alberta only has about 10% of the country's data centers, but that number is about to jump significantly.
That ratio flips quite dramatically when you start looking at the pipeline of data centers. So data centers that have been announced or under construction, we see into the future that about 90% of these pipeline data centers are being sited in Alberta. So it's not that they will 100% be constructed, but they are at least proposed.
A big shift, and Alberta wants the jobs and investment as the sector scales up in the province. Still, in some communities, there are a variety of concerns, mainly how much energy and water these data centers will use. But there are plenty of other questions that people have, such as about the level of noise and why the process isn't more transparent.
What you're facing with this is massive fallout from emissions, sound, construction.
Some in the industry realize that needs to change. New data center developers are often building their own power plants, so the local grid and prices aren't impacted, and they are reducing water use as well. And they have to be more open with the community.
We got to continue to work together, both industry and government, to continue to build public trust. And I think fundamentally, whether it's misinformation or even the right information, the questions just haven't been answered. It's on all of us to get out there and take their questions, address them openly, make sure we're working towards solutions.
That company, eStructure, is building its third data center right now in Alberta, its most powerful facility yet, and it's already talking about developing a fourth in Alberta as well. Kyle Bax, CBC News, Calgary.
The 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup won't just feature the best in soccer, it'll also feature some of the most advanced technology ever used in the sport. The CBC's Dan Burrett has more on how the tech works and why it could be a game changer.
The connected ball technology tracks the spin, the speed, the point of contact of the ball.
Vancouver's science world has been transformed into a giant soccer ball on the outside and a FIFA museum on the inside, showcasing the latest technology in the sport.
This innovation puts the tracker at the side of the ball. It increases the accuracy of the data that's collected. It also means that the data can be immediately live streamed to the side of the pitch.
That, combined with semi-automated tech, is meant to speed up decisions made by officials. The average offside call in the 2022 World Cup took 35 seconds. And all 1,200 players will be put through a 3D body scan.
This is very helpful for officiating, but at the end also helpful for football fans, since we can also improve the 3D replays.
FIFA is also using artificial intelligence to help teams with analysis. Before, officials would hand out post-match data in 50 to 60 pages for teams to pore over. Now, coaching staff can generate graphics and simulate tactics within seconds.
So we believe by providing all teams with the same access to such latest technology, we hope we can also democratize the use and the access and the benefits of the latest technology.
The tech boost has some fans pumped.
Seeing as England got robbed for a goal years back without goal line technology, so we're all for it.
The tech might have some limitations, says this sports data scientist.
I'm pretty confident we'll have a moment or two of controversy where now we're not blaming necessarily the referee, we're going to be blaming the technologies.
It's high-tech stakes for the world's largest sporting event. Dan Burrett, CBC News, Vancouver.
Canada's main stock index drove further into record territory today, helped by gains in the basic materials sector, while U.S. markets were mixed. Look at the numbers as we head to break. And we are back to wrap things up. Picture time, of course, at the end of the show. Normally, he doesn't tell me what it is, but I did manage a sneak peek over your shoulder today. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's right. And it was notable because of all the pictures that I've, gathered and have been sent in, I think this is the first time I've seen so many pictures of the same cloud. And you'll see why. As we zoom in on the Halifax area of this picture, and this cloud, so unique.
Wow, how neat is that?
Yes. I mean, usually with clouds, it's like, what do you see? Oh, I see it, I don't think anybody can, see anything different than just a beautiful bird taking flight.
It's just what kind of bird, I guess, is the only thing you could argue over.
Yeah, you were saying maybe a robin.
Yeah, I thought so.
I tend to agree. Perhaps a dove. And just a beautiful shot. This one from David, but as I said, I think there were 10 emails in my inbox with the very same cloud.
People are watching the skies.
People are watching the skies and love it. Ryan's Picks at cbc.ca. Thanks so much to David and to everybody for sending that beautiful cloud in to share with all of us. Okay, so here's the forecast for tomorrow. We're going to start in the 10 to 14 range. We'll get up to 16 and 18 degrees across the northeast before the northeast wind kicks in and drops those temperatures into the afternoon. Everywhere else, looks like that northeast wind will not really impact temperatures a whole lot, and it's just going to be pleasant from start to finish tomorrow. We'll see highs of 20 to 24 degrees, even some 25s and 26s inland, places like Keji and New Ross. Those will be our hot spots tomorrow. Just a terrific day. Saturday, clouds dominating, but I think we'll see some sunny breaks in there. Temperatures will range between 18 to 22 for most. Cooler along that Atlantic coastline, as you can see the arrows coming in from the coastline. That's a south to southeast flow, keeping temperatures a little bit cooler. And yes, as you can see here, we will be just looking at those clouds a little bit more dominant, but staying dry. Showers for Sunday, temperatures still into the mid to high teens, and then we'll clear out through Monday and rebound Tuesday.
There you go. All right. Well, competitors from across Canada and the United States are in Medicine Hat this week for the North American One-Armed Golfer Association tournament. That is Medicine Hat golfer Jesse Florkowski, a 7-time winner and hosted the tournament. The tournament has several divisions, including categories for people with partial paralysis, missing hands or fingers, as well as seniors and juniors.
Organizers say the event is a chance for golfers to compete and connect with others who share similar abilities.
Very
good.
Fun? Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.